Good morning. This is Matt from Education News. This week, we're going to be covering three big stories. The first one is going to be preservation of the Amazon rainforest. The second is a new kind of introduction of some wild, really endangered type pigs that were just born. And lastly, a new type of brain surgery that's actually done in the womb. First off, President Silva, the president of Brazil, just introduced legislation which will essentially create six new parks in the Amazon rainforest. This is expected to protect about 620,000 hectares, which is 1.5 million acres of Amazonian rainforest. During his first term, there was a lot of problems regarding mining and illegal logging in the area. A lot of miners and loggers kind of thought that there was this implicit okay by the president to log the Amazonian rainforest. However, when he got reelected, he really kind of made this push to increase protection. So they're actually sending in the military, they're sending in some police forces to get rid of these illegal mining and logging operations that are pushing into the indigenous community. Likely, this is probably the result of a lot of international pushback on some of his policies and a lot more people paying attention to what's happening there. That being said, this is a really big move in the right direction. And previously, they had announced 14 other sites that they were going to be used as reserves. So this is a big move. And additionally, it really kind of shows that international support and international watch really makes a difference on this type of conservation movement. The president has pledged to really reduce deforestation. And since his first term, they've reduced it by about 68%. So that is a huge, huge change. Hopefully, it keeps moving in the right direction. Next up, a pair of the world's rarest piglets have just been born in the Newquay Zoo in Cornwall, England. Domesticated pigs, like what you think about of like a farm pig in the US, really have high litter counts. That means that they have a bunch of babies and they have them a lot, right? So by the time that they have one litter, they're about ready to go and have another one or at least get pregnant and start that process again. So it's really easy to build up that population. Unfortunately, the warty pig doesn't have that. They tend to have really small litters and they take a little bit longer to go through the entire process. So the population takes a lot longer to build up. They don't have a same like pig problem like you would in the States. So this reintroduction breeding programs are really important to ensure the long-term survival of the species. Our last story of the day comes out of Boston, where surgeons went into the womb and did brain surgery on the baby. Surgeons at the Boston Children's Hospital, in coordination with the Brigham Women's Hospital and the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, did a first of its kind surgery where they actually went into the womb and performed a surgery while the baby was still there on its brain. So the baby had a malformation that caused really significant problems later on. Typically, there was not a long-term survivability of babies whenever they have this type of malformation in their brain. So the hope was if they go in and they treat it while it's still in the womb, that they could really extend that life expectancy and maybe just prevent any negative side effects happening in the first place. As you can imagine, brain surgery is really hard. And then brain surgery on a baby is really hard. And then brain surgery on a baby inside a womb is really, really hard. So the fact that they even tried this is super risky. But thankfully, the whole process worked out fine. They ended up doing the procedure. The baby ended up fine. They did have to induce labor a little bit early, which means that they essentially made the pregnancy happen a little bit faster, at least the birth. So they did have to do that, but all of the testing afterwards has shown that all of the negative consequences that come from this type of brain structure problem isn't happening. So the surgery so far has really been considered a success. The doctors did say that this is probably just the first of many tests that they're going to actually have to do to confirm that this type of intervention, this type of surgery actually works, but it is definitely a move in the right direction. All right, that's the good news stories of the week. I hope you have a wonderful Monday and I hope you have a great week. Thank you so much for watching.